Hello, 4th graders. Welcome to Lesson 8.1, Multiples of Unit Fractions. Please pause to write the lesson number and title in your notebook. Today's objective is I can write a fraction as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction. Please pause to write the lesson objective in your notebook. Let's begin by reading the Unlock the Problem. It states, at a pizza party, each pizza was cut into 6 equal slices. At the end of the party, there was 5/6 of a pizza left over. Roberta put each of the leftover slices in its own freezer bag. How many bags did she use? What part of the fraction did she put in each bag? Well, let's look to the green box to see what we should do first. It says, how many slices of pizza were eaten? Well, we know that a whole pizza, if it's cut into 6, would have been 6, 6. But we only have 5/6 left over, so that means 1 slice of pizza was eaten. And what fraction of the pizza is 1 slice? Well, it is 1 piece of a total of 6. So we want to see here an example. We want 5/6 as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction. A unit fraction is where our numerator is 1. It's showing 1 piece of our fraction. So this shows 5/6 or 5 pieces of 6. And each 6 size can be written as the unit fraction, 1 piece out of 6. So if I was talking about 5/6, well, that would be 5 pieces that are each 1/6. So that would be 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6. There's 5 1/6. So 5/6 is the same as saying 5 times 1/6. So if we looked at our original question, back up here to the top, we want to know if she puts each of the leftover slices in its own freezer bag, how many bags will she use? So if every single 1/6 piece has its own bag, well then she's going to need 5 bags, 5 for each piece. And then she's going to put 1/6 in each of the bags. So there's our unit fraction again, 1/6, and there are 5 of them. Let's look at the question below. It says, how can you write 2/3 as a product of a whole number and a unit fraction? Well, let's think about what we had before. We had 5/6. Now we have 3 halves. So let's think a half is the size of the piece we are dealing with, and we have 3 of them. So that would be like saying 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. Now I have 3 pieces of half. Or I can also say that that is 3 times 1/2. Let's practice this again on the next page. It says multiples. The product of a number and a counting number is called a multiple, like we would count by multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. We've learned about multiples of whole numbers, but now we're going to learn about multiples of fractions. So the products of 1 times 4 and 2 times 4 and 3 times 4 are all multiples of 4. We would count them like 4, 8, 12, and so on. These are all the multiples of 4. We can do the same thing with a fraction. 1 times 1/4 is a model to show the multiples of 1/4. So in our first example, we have 2 times 1/4. So here's 1/4, and here is 1/4. Each one of them are 1 of the 4th of the models that they have. We could continue that on by saying now I have 3 1/4, 2 1/4, 3 1/4. So I have 3 times 1/4. 3 of them, 3 1/4. And I can call that 3/4. I can continue on. 4 times 1/4. Here would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 1/4. Sorry, that should be a 1. 4 times 1/4 gives me 4/4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, what if we had 5? We can have an improper fraction. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces that are each 1/4 gives me a total of 5/4. So the multiples of 1/4 are, I'm going to go through and circle them, 1/4, 1 times 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and 5/4. Let's write those in below. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and 5/4. Now lastly here at the bottom, they're going to use fifths, and we're going to count by 1/5. So you can see, here's my 0, and I'm going to count 1/5, that's 1 times 1/5, 2/5, 2 times 1/5, 3/5, 3 times 1/5, and we need to know the next 2. So the next one would be 4 times 1/5, which would be 4/5, and 5 times 1/5, which would be 5/5. So the multiples of 1/5 are 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5. And that is how we write a multiple of a fraction as a unit fraction and a multiple by a whole number. We will continue practicing this tomorrow in class. You're almost finished. When you're sure you understand this lesson and you have everything written down, go back to your teacher's website and complete the exit slip. See you tomorrow.